Okay guys, so super different kind of video today. I just got done watching Llama Mama Kayla's video about learning to crochet without fingers. If you haven't seen that already, she just posted it today at the time that I'm filming this. I'm not sure when it'll be posted, but I got like super emotional watching that. Definitely watch it if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed to her, I would recommend subscribing to her. She is a fantastic YouTuber and an awesome person. But I just really, really want to help her. Like, I really, really wish there was something I could do. And I was watching this the whole time, and just like ideas were going through my head of like, okay, so that doesn't work. Well, what about this? And I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I could crochet something. So I thought I would pop on here and brainstorm to see if I could come up with something I could crochet. I was just gonna start brainstorming and start crocheting. But then I thought I should pop on here because other people might have ideas too, and you might see my idea and think of something like the same but slightly better, or be inspired by something I do. And like together as a community, maybe we can come up with something that actually works. Because I'm definitely not confident that I can come up with something that will work, but I want to try, and I would like to put my efforts out there that other people can use them too. Maybe we can, combine our brain powers and come up with something. So I'm going to start out with kind of brainstorming on paper, and then I'm just going to jump straight into crocheting. I also figured, just on the off chance that this does work out, and it does work well, I will also then have a video that I can go back to and kind of replicate what I did, so that I don't have to try to keep writing down everything I'm doing as I go, because that really does take you out of the process to try to write down things as you're making it up. So first things first, I'm just going to use my hand as reference, and I have my camera set up in the best way that I could figure. So hopefully that works. And this is just going to be a very rough sketch. And then I'm going to go back through and make it more like her hand. So hopefully you guys can see well. I have, this is on like a flexible thing. So when I lift it up, it goes back down some after I get it into the position. So I have to like overcompensate. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. And then I also have ring lights on both sides of me to try to help with lighting. So hopefully you guys can see well. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Here is going to be the general shape of her hand. I'm going to modify the knuckles away, because she doesn't have, grab my bigger eraser. But using my hand as a base should give it pretty close to a like hand size that would work for her. Because looking at her hand, I think we probably have a similar hand size. Let's see. Okay, so, and then she's got her pinky kind of does this. Okay, I think that this is a good enough rough representation of the hand. So I have an idea. And the wrist is actually going to be pretty important too, because we need to try to stabilize this so that it stays on. So, okay, my idea so far is I'm thinking acrylic yarn for a wristband, because it's going to be a little bit more stretchy so that she can slide it on and not have to deal with Velcro or straps. So acrylic wrist band. But I feel like a wristband will help a lot because it gives it somewhere to like secure on so that it's not sliding off of her hand. And then I'm thinking for the part that's going to be structural for holding the crochet hook, that we'll use cotton because cotton's not going to stretch as much. Because we have to kind of walk the fine line between, you know, comfort and being able to get it on, but then also, I just realized you can't see the wrist. Also being able to, sorry guys, I'm trying. So comfort and being able to get it on, but also it staying and not stretching too much for holding the crochet hook. Because if it stretches too much, then it's not going to hold the crochet hook to her hand. And so then it's not going to work for crocheting. So I'm thinking cotton for, wow, that looks terrible. Cotton for structure. I don't even know if you guys can see over there. No, you can't. I'm glad because that was really bad handwriting. Okay, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure like how big I'm thinking for the wristband or anything, but let's just say we'll do a wristband like that, and I want it to be something you can slide on. And then I was thinking some kind of something that goes up and over the top of the hand. Because she has this room to work with that we could help to make a structure that like will stay on. Because all of the ones I'm seeing, they rely on just a strap going across right here. But you can see, I hope I'm not making it worse with the way I have this ring light placed. It's giving me shadows. Let's see. Sorry for the super chaotic video. Nope, I feel like that's worse. 1 second, guys. Okay, so I think that's the best we're getting. Hopefully that works well. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you thought of the lighting situation. Whew, okay. So I'm thinking everything I've seen has been just stabilized across the hand like this, but then she's having the problem of it sliding off. So I'm thinking if we could do more straps to kind of shape it almost like a glove to the hand. So something that goes up here. Nothing too bulky. I don't want to do like a legit glove because that might be uncomfortable. So and I am thinking we'll do a strap across the hand this way too, because that's going to be the best way to hold the crochet hook in the front. So maybe something kind of like this. And then I'm thinking on the front, it's going to be really similar. We'll just do like a little miniature version. Well, the front actually would be reversed. So Okay, that's too small. I can't do the detail I need to do. Let's just say, like, here's the arm / wrist area. Bear with me, guys. I am not an artist in the least. Okay, let's just say that this is the general shape of her hand from the front view. So this is the back, this is the front. So I'm thinking we'll have the wrist strap, and then that part that goes down from the front, or from the top, and then this part I wonder if we should have it stabilized down to the wrist on the front too. I don't know how useful that would be because of the way that you bend your arm when you're crocheting. You know, if you're bending your wrist, it's just gonna sag those, sag the bands, you know. Okay, so for now we'll just leave it with this concept for the front, and I'm thinking we'll do like a pouch that the crochet hook can slide through right here on this band on the back. Alright, so here is the concept. Let me flatten this down over here. There we go. Alright, so first things first, I grabbed some acrylic yarn, which is kind of a mess over here, but I grabbed some, is that the right part? There we go. I grabbed some yellow acrylic. I wanted to do this in colors that are going to make her happy and bring her some joy. So yellow is her favorite, and also it's just a bright, cheery color. I was between that and teal because teal for me is like a really bright, cheery color, but I went with yellow because it's her favorite color. And then for the cotton, I grabbed this like rainbowy kind of pastel-y kind of colors. Not super pastel-y, but I thought that this would be good for the cotton, so that it doesn't stretch as much and still bringing her some joy when she gets it out. Okay, so I'm thinking for the wristband, we want it to be stretchy, but we also want it to, you know, work. We want it to keep it on. So we're gonna have to try to walk that line in between. Going to use my yellow hook too. This is a 4.25 hook. I don't know if this is going to be the hook size that I want to go with in the end, but I'm going to see where it puts me, kind of get some tighter stitches going. So for this to have a little bit of stretch, let's do a chainless foundation round. And I'm going to try to work this up to be about the width of my wrist, and hopefully that's a good width for her wrist. Or circumference, I guess. I don't want to pester her for measurements. Like, hey, can you measure your hand and your wrist for me? I know you have like a million other things going on, and that's not important right now, but did I just mess that up? I was not paying attention. I might fast forward through, or not fast forward, but like speed up, which is like kind of fast forwarding, but not skipping through some parts if I'm taking forever. Oops, I forgot to mute that. Let me mute that real quick. But for the most part, I would like to take you guys along in real time because I feel like that's going to give us the most beneficial creative process. If we can like see each other's, well, if you can see my creative process, I suppose I can't see your creative process, but you can let me know feedback in the comments. Don't be too hard on me. I'm trying. But if you have ideas or you saw something that could be done a little bit better or anything like that, I am absolutely open to hearing that because I want to make this work. I really want to get her happy and crocheting. And something that works for her and is comfy and feels more natural. Okay, we're about halfway. And this does have stretch to it, so I want to make sure that I don't go too big with it. Because that's kind of the idea behind using the acrylic, is that it has some stretch to it. But it has to go over her hand, so it's got to be big enough to slide over. But I think it'll be really nice to not have to worry about a clasp, and Velcro will get stuck to yarn. So I don't think we want to do Velcro, if at all possible. It would be nice to not have to do Velcro. But she was really struggling with those clasps, and I just wanted to jump through the screen and do it for her. I know that that has to be so frustrating. I am so proud of her for persevering and like not giving up, because it would just be, you know, so easy to give up. But she's not doing like, you know, laying down and rolling over and, you know, not trying. She's a really strong person. I honestly don't know if I would be as strong as her, but she is extremely inspiring to me. Okay, that might be good. Let's try Tataru. Let's try connecting these together. If I can brain if I can brain myself right now and figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I want to do a slip stitch. Did I pick up something? No, I didn't. Okay. And I'm just going to give chain one to make it secure a little bit. All right, I'm going to hold right here and I'm going to try. That's too big. Because this didn't stretch much, did it? No, I need to take a little bit off of that. Let's try taking 2 stitches out. And then we'll try that again. Might have gone too small now, but that's why we're trial and erroring it and trying it on as we go. Okay, holding on to that so it doesn't get too much stretch. Okay, I think that that'll be good because it does still have to be able to go over her hand. Hopefully that's good. Alright, let's pull that chain out. Get back in here. No, Ruru. So I'll go back and like make that look a little bit nicer when I come back to it. But for now, I'm going to do a row of single crochets. So I just chained one and did a single crochet, and then, oops, grabbing a stitch marker. All right, I'm going to count these as I go just because I want to get a general idea. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 'and then I think I'm just going to slip stitch and see how that goes. Oh yeah, I think that should have a good amount of stretch to it. Okay, so that was 25. Just gonna scribble down some notes. Single crochet foundation, single crochet 25, like I said, I might not write down everything I do as I go because I want to be able to stay in the moment of what I'm doing, but if I can, I'll scribble down notes as I go. Okay, so we've got this, and that should be working pretty perfectly. I hope. Now the question is this big enough? Or should we go a little bit bigger? Like a little bit, you know, wider, a little bit more substantial. You know what? I'm going to go one more round and I will come back. I'm not going to make you sit here and just watch me single crochet another round. But then I think we'll be good. I want to make it, you know, a little bit substantial. I don't want it to be thin and flimsy or anything like that. Okay, so I went one more round and then I went back to the other side and I put a trim, and I used an acrylic yarn because, like I said, I want this to have some stretch to it, but I thought that this color would look good with this cotton that I'm going to be using for the structural parts. So here's what we are looking like. And it's stretchy enough to put on, but also snug enough that I don't think it's going to slide off without you purposely taking it off. So I think that that is exactly what I was going for. Here's what we're looking like. Haven't decided. I think this will be the part that I connect the cotton to. So I haven't found my center pull on this cotton yet. I probably should have done that before I came back. I'm just gonna fiddle with this and try to see if I could find the center pull real quick while I talk. So I'm thinking I will do chains for the structural things, for the structural parts. So like these, and then this will be a thicker strap. I'll be right back. I'm gonna find the center pole. All right, I found my center pole. So this is gonna be the back. So we're gonna start with the back first. And I'm just going to attach right on. And start chaining. So I don't know how many to chain, but I'm thinking that might be enough already. So I'm just going to keep trying this on as I go. And I'm trying it on the wrong hand, which is something I need to keep in mind because this is going to be for the right hand. So this will actually go, yeah, it'll go that way. So that might be good already. Actually, a good way to do this might be... Wow, I really love the color of this cotton yarn. That is beautiful. So it might be to make a little strap like that. And then I'll connect this to the strap. That looks like it's probably a good length. So I'll go ahead and tie that off. Trim my yarn. And I'll weave in this end later. That is super pretty. Alright, and so now I need to make a strap that goes across the hand, so I'm just going to set that to the side. And I'm going to work on chaining about the circumference of the palm. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to keep trying it on. This is so hit or miss because people's hands are different sizes. Her hands look about the same size as mine, but then also, you know, my hand is not shaped the same because I have fingers. And I am going to just do my best to replicate, you know, what I think will work. So I want to try this on the right hand. So we're going to go from here at an angle because we want her to be able to hold her crochet hook, you know, at that angle that you do when you crochet, which you have your crochet hook goes at an angle right here. So that's the reason I'm doing it at an angle, to hopefully replicate the angle that she holds her hook at normally. Close. And that should be pretty good. And I'm just gonna slip stitch. Back into the first stitch. You know, I'm actually thinking another strap right here. Darkening these so that you can see them. So I'm thinking another strap right there to help keep this from rising. So here's what I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. Lock in this. Because I think that this will be good. It's a little on the loose side, but like not too loose. We don't want it to be too tight is the thing, you know? So I think that this will be good. And then I'm thinking straps here and a strap there. And then a strap that goes over. So right now we've got that. So let's go ahead and attach like right here. Don't mind all these tails, I'll weave them in. Then I'm just gonna chain a little bit. Tataru, come here. I'm thinking that might be good. Come here. Because then we'll connect them like that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my band that's gonna go across the middle of the hand. I'm gonna go through part of the chain and I'm gonna slip stitch. So I can start to connect these together. I wonder if I should do a securing strip on this side too, over by the thumb. Or will this stay down on its own? You know, something like this might actually be a good idea. Something that kind of goes around this part of your hand and connects back to it. Either that or having this go down to the wristband. That might keep it on better because this might just move around. Okay, so let's see. What if we do another strap? Okay, so we're gonna have that. We're gonna have this. It's gonna look a little something like this. And this will be connected. It probably doesn't need it, but I don't see it hurting to have another strap going right here. So I'm gonna go for it. So connecting right next to where we were, maybe even out of the same spot, actually. And we're gonna chain. And we want this chain to be a little bit longer because it's going up a little bit further. Okay, I need to put this on again and mark what stitch to put that connection into. So if that's there, and that's there. I want to make sure this doesn't pull down on this too much because we want her to be able to get, you know, the angle that she holds her hook at. So I want to make sure that this can go up high enough. Maybe I'll do one more chain and then I'll connect it right after that knot. I don't want it to be too loose though either, or the structural straps won't do anything. And then they're pointless and they're just kind of, you know, there, not doing anything. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, and then I need to connect this when I start working up the middle. But so far that is looking pretty dang good. And I'm going to put a strap that goes across the top, comes down over to here. Hopefully this will secure this down. All right. But first, before I do that other strap, I'm going to work up some thickness on this center strap and connect this. So trying to make sure I have the shape right, because I had wanted this to be at an angle. Hopefully that's a good spot to connect it in. Doing a slip stitch. Alright, now I'm just going to chain one, and then I'm going to go around and single crochet in every chain space. And work over some of these tails. So when I get to spots like this that are just kind of not easy to see the chains, I'm gonna just go around that spot. Just kind of fudge it to make it work. And this might need to be washed, so I am gonna work over some tails, but then I'm also not gonna work over the whole thing, because I want to be able to weave them back and forth a little so that they don't come out when this gets washed. You know, that's assuming that this works out at all. It isn't just a total fail. Okay, I think that's enough weaving those in. I'm gonna set those to the side, and then I'll come back and actually weave them in. Continue on my merry way, just single crocheting in every chain. For this hand strap, I want to start working the width of it up. And this hand strap is going to get a pouch on the front for a crochet hook to go through. So it has to be wide enough that I can put a pouch that can fit an ergonomic crochet handle through. All right, I'm just going to keep single crocheting the rest of the way around until I get back to where I started, and I'm going to go ahead and weave in these tails that I worked over a little bit. Okay, so I wove in all of my tails and worked my way back around to my starting point, and here is what it's looking like right now, and I think it is coming out exactly how I hoped it would. So I'm thinking at this point I'll either go around one more time or I'll go ahead and chain and connect over here. I think I'll go around one more time and then I'll chain and connect over here. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and I will be back. Okay, so here is what I have got. This is what it looks like when it's not on. And then the way that you put it on is you just slide your hand into here. And she won't have, you know, fingers to contend with up here, but this part goes around your wrist, and then this part goes around the forehand, I don't know if that's actually a word, and then this, I ended up doing it at more of an angle, and this can also shift to the side more, you know, whatever angle is the most comfortable, but I did it at an angle so that hopefully it won't slide off. Not sure if this strap is going to do anything, but just covering all my bases. I don't think it should get in the way. And then now I'm going to work on making a pouch to hold the crochet hook right here. Because she usually would hold it, you know, at an angle and hold it with her pinky finger. And then do her stuff with her thumb. So I'm thinking that this angle should be good if I've got a pouch for this to slide into. So that is what I am going to work on adding, and I'm going to adjust my drawing a little bit because this part I ended up doing at more of an angle. So I ended up doing something a bit more like this. Taru, no. Okay, and then to make these show up a little bit more, let's do a highlight. So this is where the strap locations are. Mostly highlighting because this one can get lost pretty easily. If anyone else wants to play around with the design, hopefully this kind of helps you. And then just keep in mind that this one goes around to the front, which is what this little bit right here is. Kind of goes at a little bit more of an angle than that, but... And I'll also do a little note with a little arrow. Okay. And then let's see what we think. So here is where I'm currently connected to my project, which is at the end of where I just attached this, and I want to do a little pouch right here. So I'm thinking let me do a chain. And I want this to be the size of a hook, big enough to fit an ergonomic hook in, but not too big. Chitaru, stop it. Come here, Rue.
Where's mommy? Where's mommy, Ruru? Where's mommy? Where's mommy?
Okay, so I made a loop, and I think that that should be a good size. I want to test that with a hook. Let's see, here's a 6.5, which I know that she likes to use a 6.5, so that should be a good size to test it with. So that fits in there. And I want to make sure that it can go in pretty easily. I'm actually wondering if instead of doing a pouch, if I should just do several bands, because with a pouch, it might be hard to try to push it in, you know, because you can't pull it, because it would be a tube. You wouldn't be able to pull it through, and you'd be just kind of trying to push it. But if I have it in multiple bands, then you could easily kind of maneuver it up in there, because I want to make sure that the hook isn't going to slide around and move out. So how many chains did I do? Well, I was on here, so I'm just going to count that as a chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like 6 or 7. So I'm gonna slip stitch 2, and then I'll chain 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get a feel for if that feels like the right amount. Slip stitch on this other side. Then let's do a test. Because I'm thinking with this hook here, or with the loop here, you can kind of push it through. Because this is going to be one of the bigger sized hooks that you're going to use. So I don't really want to go too much bigger, I don't think. Because that's with a 6.5. But let's just say you were using, let's see, what have I got over here? Okay, here's a couple other sizes. So this would be a 5.75. So that feels like it's going to be about the same size girth as the 6.5. But you switch over to, this is a 3.75. And it's going to go in there pretty easily. So I want to make sure that it's not just going to fall out. I almost think you might need more than one of these for different size hooks. So slip stitching 2. Oh, that's a single crochet. What am I doing? And then chaining 7 again. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then skipping to the second one over here. And slip stitching. Not sure how many loops we want to do. Probably one more. Slip stitch 2. Chain 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And slip stitch. All right. Let's try that out. To the best of my ability, anyway. Okay. So here's what we've got going on the front. This is almost like too big, but I wanted to make sure that it's easily, like, you know, able to be put on without being too tight. I feel like this fits really, really nicely though, which is, this part's really important. And then we've got this, ignore that tail. We've got the four loops. And then if you're trying to crochet, and you actually could even put your crochet hook in before you put it on. You could definitely put the crochet hook in before you put it on, which is probably what I would recommend that she do. And you could use as many or as few things as you want, because there's 3, but we'll go ahead and do it with 4. And then that holds it at an angle, and you can kind of choose what angle you want it to be at. And then she could use her thumb. Wonder if this has too much range of motion. I'm going to watch her video a little bit more and see if this range of motion looks like it's going to be a problem. And if I think it is, I'm going to think and see if I can come up with something to keep this from moving. But other than that, I'm really happy with the design of this. So I will potentially be adding something. So I will be right back after I watch some video and see if we need to modify it further. Okay, so I fiddled around with it a little bit and I came up with a way to keep it from moving as much, which is this. Don't ask me what I did. The rest of this is pretty easy to follow and document, but this is kind of just, I did like chaining and connecting down. This is crochet thread, and I basically just made like a little pouch. This helps to keep it from moving too much. It does still have some wiggle to it, but watching her video, it seems like she wants some movement to it so she can manipulate it. But this will keep it from popping out the bottom, because it's got, kind of hard to show you while I'm wearing it, but it's got a like hammock type style, like it's like a basket. And so yeah, that's what it looks like. I need to weave in these tails from what I just did. But let me take this off and I'll show you what the little basket part looks like. So here is the part that lays against the palm and the straps. And I think that the straps will make it easier for her to put the hook in, because if you're just trying to slide it into a pocket made of yarn, cotton yarn, with the silicone, it would be really hard to push it into a pocket. It would just want to wad up, I think. So I think this makes it so that you can pull them on, and then this will keep it from going out the bottom. It's got, you know, a little pouch. And I'm really happy with that. Like I said, you know, remains to be seen whether it will help her or not. And I won't be offended at all if it doesn't, because the whole idea is just to hopefully be able to help a little bit. So if anybody wants to work off of what I did, you are totally welcome to. I will pop a picture of this up on the screen at the end of the video if you want to screenshot it or anything. But this is what I worked up, so I will send this off to her soon, and hopefully it helps out some. All right, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.